You're listening to Big World Network.
Amazing Grace, Episode 7. Written by James Hellvig, read by Meagan Hedin. Jorge quickly simmers while he searches the internet for references on both his new boss and his latest assignment. His laptop is new and disposable. Like me. Shit. Disgusted at the lack of information on either of his subjects, he mentally mulls over his limited options. This cabrona's connected, and he has the juice to stay anonymous. From the newscast and her street reputation, the Pastora is not someone to mess with lightly. Raphael got smoked working on this. Exasperated, Jorge slams the lids shut, startling the entourage of members lounging in the room. At least he's figured out how he'd been taken in the middle of the night. The whole house had been doused with a sleeping agent via the heating system. Shuddering at the complexity of such an operation, Jorge turns his focus on the things he can control. For now, at least. Dale watches as Anna and his children romp in the pool, laughing and squealing as only young girls can. Distracted, he doesn't notice the arrival of Kat and his wife until Kat nudges his side and his wife hands him a plate piled with food. "Are you all right, dear?" his wife asks mildly. Accepting the plate with a smile, he nods and leans in to plant a quick kiss, saying, "Thank you. Just wondering how they got so big is all." Returning his kiss and stroking his cheek, Dale's wife of 20-plus years tells him, "You're a terrible liar, Sergeant Major, but that's sweet. I'll give you and Kat 10 minutes to talk shop. After that, you're on my time. Are we clear, mister?" Snorting, Dale replies, "Aye, aye, ma'am." Dale shakes his head as she walks away, then turns to his grinning commanding officer. "See something, Commander?" he growls. Chuckling, Kat plucks the hot dog from his plate and takes a big bite before answering. "Nope, just refreshing to see is all. That you do know how to take orders." Muttering under his breath, Dale leads them to a more private section of the yard. "All right, Kat, let's have it. What's the latest intel on our elusive scumbag?" Sighing loudly, she slowly finishes her hot dog while checking for eavesdroppers. "We still have nothing concrete, Dale, but there's been an incident in South Africa. Another of Interpol's most wanted arms merchants just turned up dead with the entire inventory taken. That's 2 in the past 4 months. The intelligence community is pissed. They've lost dozens of assets." Rubbing his chin thoughtfully, his brow wrinkling, Dale answers, "So, consolidating power and wiping out the competition. But why now?" Kat grimaces before replying. Psychops' best guess is that it's a show of force, a slap at the global enforcement agencies and a blatant display of gall. Meeting each other's gaze, the two warriors grow grim, Dale expressing the shared concern. "Son of a bitch like that isn't going to let MT get the best of them for long." Tammy slows her pace as she approaches the church after her morning run. She varies the times and places she runs and tries to be unpredictable in her daily patterns. Of course, if you've got the manpower and the patience, none of that matters. Snorting, she slows to a walk, scanning the surroundings, and is comforted by the weight in her waistband. Her weekly forays into the street as Sadie were revealing a renewed gang cohesion, but thus far the gangs had not stepped up the violence outside of their internal turf scrimmages. Dale and Kat were keeping her updated with their suspicions. She was doing all she could, but anyone could be killed, if the attacker was willing and determined enough. "If it's my time, then so be it. I just don't want anyone else hurt with me." Stretching, Tammy grins. "Mother Steele will be pleased. It seems I've regained my faith, or at least made peace with it." Demonis Alumno yawns in the early morning light. The grueling schedule of the past few months were draining, but the results had been worth the effort. It would be easier to simply order the destruction of the Pastora and her associates. Easier, but not satisfying. In the end, you will know the full extent of your failure. Dropping to the floor in a push-up position, the arms merchant begins a daily exercise ritual, not stopping until lathered in sweat and panting. The puckered scar on the bicep of the focused killer aches with the strain and serves as a reminder for vengeance. Later, staring out the window into the New York skyline, Demonis Alumno grims in anticipation. "We will dance soon, Pastora, sooner than you can imagine." Cackling laughter fills the sparsely furnished space. The unnerving sound reverberates, giving the illusion of one being many, and sounding as if the many were trapped in the halls of the damned.
This has been a presentation of Big World Network. Visit us on BigWorldNetwork.com for more free weekly series, or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for listening.
You're listening to Big World Network.